I'm honored to be here today, and I appreciate Derek inviting me. I've been the Director of Parks and Recreation here in Grapevine for the last 18 years, and it's been a wonderful experience here. And if it wouldn't be for the core property, we wouldn't have much of a park system here in Grapevine, and I'll cover that here in just a little bit. I'm going to go through the presentation fairly fast. Most of you heard our mayor this morning. He's been here 34 of the last 36 years as a mayor. So he talked a little bit about how we were able to attract businesses like the Gaylord, like the Great Wolf Lodge, like Grapevine Mills, and that really helped the tax base here in Grapevine. Any certain button I push?
Is it right?
Right one?
It'll be good to go in a minute.
It's still looking, it's big.
If Derek was here, he told me I needed to go fast because there's 67 slides, so I'm going to go fast, okay? It's toward the end of the presentation anywhere where it's the meat of the presentation. So are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, just a vision of the city. The mayor covered that this morning. It really, they discovered early on that we want to be a tourist destination, and where we're at in conjunction with the airport and that, they wanted to establish a good tax base, create a favorable commercial environment, keep taxes low. I've been here 18 years. I can tell you property taxes have not increased in 18 years. And in fact, 12 of the years it's went down, and that's because of businesses like the Gaylord, because of Grapevine Mills Mall, because of Great Wolf Lodge. And obviously to provide a quality of life for the residents. The ability, obviously, with the airport, most of you, I saw the hands that flew into the airport. The majority of the airport is in Grapevine, so we get a lot of tax revenue from that. Obviously, being between Dallas and Fort Worth, we have a big draw there. And then just the unique things that we offer. I think the mayor touched on that a little bit, that they would be able to pick and choose on the developments that they wanted in Grapevine with the vision that the council had. Obviously, as Doug just talked about, our opportunities with Lake Grapevine are just tremendous. We have botanical gardens, and we've really been working on our hike and bike trail system, which you'll learn about more today on the tour. Obviously, the Gaylord, and we're going to see these today, Great Wolf Lodge, so I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can. Grapevine Mills Mall. Vineyards, the mayor touched on that a little bit. The Texas Wine and Grape Grower Association is housed here in Grapevine. We have 8 wine tasting rooms, which is a big draw for tourism. Our historic downtown Grapevine, which is our depot, and we'll be getting light rail from Fort Worth in pretty quick. And that's our Puffy train. I think the mayor talked about that. That's our transit train, which we actually got from Fort Worth, that goes into Fort Worth on a weekly basis or a couple times a week, takes tourists in and comes back out, and vice versa. Festivals, we talked about that just a little bit. We're big on festivals. Main Street Days, which is coming up here in May, we focus on outdoor events where we have kayaking, we have fishing, we have rock climbing, we have all those things at the festivals to get a touch of the outdoors. Just a couple other slides of the festivals. We have a Grape Fest. We talked about that just a little bit, and that's our wine festivals, and that draws in 250,000 to 300,000 people on a weekend. We call ourselves Christmas Capital of Texas, so we're really focusing on that to get the tourists in. So we do a lot. Thomas the Train you saw the tarantula. We have events on that train, which is sold out every year, and all the tickets that they have. The park downtown, if you haven't been downtown, the town square, we really decorate that up, put a music to light show. And again, it's a big attraction for bringing people in to spend money in Grapevine. By the way, on the sales tax dollars in Grapevine that we get, 80% of the sales tax dollars brought in our city are from outside of Grapevine. So that tells you we are a tourist destination. This is just a little shot of our botanical gardens when we talked about the monarch butterfly. Basically, we had used this as education. We have plants, we have boards on showing the life cycle of the monarch butterfly. We also have a festival called Butterfly Flutterby, which is the monarch butterfly and the metamorphosis in their migration and things like that, and we tag them and release them and stuff like that. So we're all about that and educating people. This is our hike and bike trail system, just to kind of shows you, oops, I want to get back to that. We go the other way. There it is. Okay. Just to kind of give you an idea, This is where I live in the south part of the city, but anywhere in Grapevine you can access a hike and bike trail system which gets you up to our lake park system. We are now, and I'll talk about it a little bit more today, developing a trail system out of Gaylord going to the mall, which will tie in all our hotels in the northeast corridor. Public art. We're big on public art in Grapevine, and again, that's a big draw. Our residents love it, tourists love it. This is our homecoming statue at the depot. I don't know if you get downtown Grapevine, this is at the end of our main street with the deer and the bear. And this is our homecoming. This is a 911 memorial statue, which is just down the road. Our partnership with Lake Grapevine, with the Corps of Engineers, if it wouldn't be for Doug, as I said, we wouldn't have much of a park system. And yes, our council was worried about it because we were just getting ready to, I say fixing, we were just fixing to triple the acreage of our park system. So the council's worry on that is how are we going to maintain this with the dollars we got. Basically 550 or 1,550 acres, which is 31 acres per 1,000 population, which is one of the highest in Metroplex. If you take away the Corps of Engineers property that we have here in Grapevine, we're at 6 acres, so we're one of the lowest without that in the Metroplex. Of the 1,550 acres, 550 acres of that is what's called the ESA, environmentally sensitive area, which we have to leave in its natural state. We can do soft surface trails or something like that, but what's guaranteed, those native stands of trees here in Texas are going to stay that way. When we took over the last 770 acres, when Doug approached us in 2004, basically the council said you're going to maintain that, directing staff that is, you're going to maintain that and develop that property with revenues you generate from it. So thanks to the campground, thanks for the 10 boat ramps that we manage, thanks to some fee-based parks, we are able to do that. And we're continuing to put efforts, and we're going through a second phase of improvements at our campground right now. Marinas International, I have to thank them. I mean, they've been a great partner to work with, that we've swapped some properties to the benefit of each other, and have worked well together, and appreciate Gilbert for being here in Marinas. This is just our park system. You just saw this slide, but basically Meadowmere Park is where it's a kind of a little fee-based park, which we have some soccer fields. This is just a day use area. This is our hike and bike trail system that goes through here. We have some ball fields in here and our hike and bike trails, and then they come back around. Vineyards Campground, which I hope we get a chance to look at today, and then Katie's Woods, which is just across from here. This is our Katie's Woods boat ramp, which we were able to get a boating access grant from the federal government to help do some improvements there, which included a restroom facility, boat ramp, and let's see. Just some other facilities, which obviously we use to rent out to generate revenue along our lake parks. I was mentioning the ESAs, environmentally sensitive areas. We have all those signs so that people will leave those alone. Of course, bass fishing is a big thing here. And Doug talked about this. This is actually at our campground. We went a 30-foot swing in the lake within an 18-month period, where at one point all our boat ramps were closed due to low water, to all our boat ramps closed due to high water. We were moving, during this particular flood event, we were moving our cabins out, our first 5 cabins, in water as the water level was coming up. So we have to live by that too. But that's just part of the nature of the beast. Outdoor Kids Adventure Days, we were fortunate to participate years ago with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. They have a program called the Community Outdoor Outreach Program, and basically we kicked off an event where we bring kids from all over the Metroplex. We partnered with several cities to get kids out here so we can teach them how to kayak, teach them how to sail. I mean, we went through the whole gamut of things. Fishing, I mean, I know everybody in here that's been fishing, you probably remember that very first time that you caught a fish, or your first fishing experience, just like your first camping experience. So some of these kids work with them, okay, going fast, rock climbing, okay, I'm getting to the final part, just a few other slides on there. Camping. Okay, I think we're going to see most of this. Do I have a minute or?
1 minute.
1 minute. Well, maybe we better take questions. I think most of it, are we going to see the Vineyards Campground this afternoon?
I think that's the plan. We get on the bus in time.
If
so
that's the plan, then we can point out a lot of what we have. In the end, I was just going to talk to you about marketing opportunities that we use here in Grapevine and at the lake parks to draw people.
So we'll do that on the boat with a drink.
We can do that. Anyway, I appreciate, Derek, you're out of the room, but I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor for us to be, and I've learned a whole lot from everybody. And we can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just briefly, I listened to Dr. Sanchez, and he said we'd rather get outdoors than to watch a crappy slideshow. So I don't have a slideshow. I just want to briefly say a few things. Doug had mentioned that it's not always a smooth path. Sometimes there are bumps in the road. Sometimes there are stretches of rocky road. We've had that in this relationship at times. But what we've not done is been uncooperative. We've not suffered from cooperation deficit disorder. And that has gotten us past those rocky roads and those bumps, and it's been a great relationship. We'd like to talk real briefly about the private sector / private sector relationship. We talked about mostly agency to agency and some private sector with that. But it's been a good relationship with Gaylord. And Gaylord's been a partner to us. For example, Jeff, this is Jeff Rose, our Texas Regional Manager. Will you stand up? Jeff deals with Gaylord directly, and he knows a lot more of the details about that relationship than I. So if you see Jeff on the tour and want to talk to him about it, feel free to do so. But one of the things they did is put our people, our Marinas International people, through their training program. They thought that was important. They're very customer-oriented, and we benefited from that. We are a customer-oriented company too, but they had a formal training plan set up, and that worked really well. And the boat you're going to be on was requested by Gaylord. It was originally, they wanted a paddle boat. We really couldn't justify a paddle boat from our standpoint because of the expense, and then you have an issue with if something happens and you need to do something different with that boat, you've got a very unique vessel that it's hard to do something with. But we settled in on the boat that we have, and it's really worked out quite well.